When a man is truly crazy about a woman, his behavior begins to shift in subtle yet impactful ways. These changes aren't always grand gestures or overt declarations of love. Instead, they often manifest as psychological tactics, usually unconscious, that stem from his deep emotional investment. These psychological tricks, while sometimes hard to detect at first, can become quite obvious once you begin to understand them. They reveal not just attraction, but a deeper desire to connect, protect, and prove himself. Men are wired a bit differently when it comes to expressing affection, and when that affection intensifies into genuine adoration, you'll start noticing a pattern of behaviors that show he's not just interested, he's genuinely captivated. Here are 6 powerful psychological tricks men tend to use when they're absolutely crazy about someone. First, one of the most common and foundational tricks is mirroring. This isn't just about copying how you speak or your gestures, it's a subconscious effort to build rapport. When a man is infatuated, his brain instinctively picks up on the little things you do, from how you laugh to how you sit. He may start using similar words, adopting your tone, or even developing new habits that reflect yours. It's not manipulative, this is human nature at work. It's the brain's way of saying, I want to be like you, close to you, and on the same wavelength as you. You might find him suddenly interested in your favorite show or asking deep questions about your hobbies. This kind of synchronization is his way of deepening the connection and making you feel like you belong in the same emotional space. Next, he'll start testing boundaries in subtle, often clever ways. This isn't to disrespect you, quite the opposite. When a man is truly into you, he wants to know what kind of relationship you're open to, what your standards are, and what kind of person you are. This could be small comments to see how you respond or playful teasing to gauge your reaction. Maybe he'll bring up a hypothetical situation to see your moral compass, or ask about your past relationships just to see how you think. It's his attempt to understand how safe he is with you and where he stands. He's not interrogating, he's collecting data, but emotionally. And when he finds that your responses align with what he's looking for, it reassures him and pulls him in deeper. Another psychological trick that surfaces is protective behavior. This isn't always about physical protection. It can be emotional, social, or even digital. You'll notice he becomes very attuned to your comfort and safety. He'll step in when someone crosses a line, make sure you get home safe, or even get oddly attentive when someone else shows you attention. It's not necessarily jealousy, it's that primal instinct kicking in. When a man is crazy about a woman, his natural role as a protector becomes heightened. Even in subtle ways, like remembering your allergies or making sure you eat, he's expressing that he values your well-being. He wants to be the person you can rely on, even when you haven't asked for it. The fourth trick is the use of intentional vulnerability. This one is often overlooked, but it's huge. Most men are conditioned to keep their emotions in check, to avoid oversharing or looking too eager. But when a man is really into someone, he'll start peeling back those layers. He might begin by opening up about something small, like a bad day or a personal disappointment, just to see how you respond. If he feels safe, he'll go deeper. He's not just venting, he's trying to create intimacy. He's using emotional exposure as a way to bridge the gap between your heart and his. Because when a man shows you his flaws, fears, or even failures, it's not weakness, it's trust. And trust is the backbone of any lasting emotional bond. Fifth, he'll subtly start future pacing, embedding you into his vision of the future. This is another unconscious psychological maneuver. When a man can't stop thinking about you, he begins to imagine life with you in it, long term. This might come across as joking about taking trips together or referring to things you two will do someday. He's planting seeds, and he's watching your reaction carefully. If you seem excited, it reassures him that you're emotionally invested too. It's his way of signaling that he's not just thinking about now, he's thinking about what comes next, and he wants to build it with you. Even if he doesn't come out and say, I see us together long term, his words and actions will show that he's already placing you in his mental landscape of what the future looks like. Finally, he will often employ selective attention, one of the most telling signs a man is crazy about you. In a room full of people, his focus will always drift back to you. He'll remember the things you say, even if they seem trivial. He might reference an offhand comment you made weeks ago or surprise you with something you barely mentioned wanting. This type of focus is deliberate, even if he doesn't realize it. His mind prioritizes you, and in doing so, you become the lens through which he views most things. This deep level of attention is often subtle but unmistakable. It's in how he listens, how he recalls your preferences, and how he always finds a way to bring the conversation back to you, even in group settings. When you're the highlight in his mental spotlight, it's not an accident, it's emotional significance. All these tricks, mirroring, boundary testing, protective instincts, vulnerability, future pacing, and selective attention, aren't just behavioral shifts. They're deep-rooted psychological responses that indicate a man is emotionally invested. When these behaviors show up consistently, they paint a clear picture. He's not just interested, he's fully captivated. Some of these tactics might seem small or even confusing when viewed in isolation, but when they start to pile up, they tell a very real, very powerful story of emotional connection. Men might not always be verbal about their feelings, but their psychology rarely lies. And when they're crazy about someone, their actions speak volumes, sometimes louder than any words ever could. If you start noticing these signs, there's a good chance the man in your life isn't just into you, he might be absolutely head over heels crazy about you.